Hi guys, JT here, and today I'll be taking you through an upcoming game, Hello Neighbor 2. A first-person stealth horror game about creeping into creepy neighbors' houses in a creepy town with creepy secrets. The story. You play as Quentin, a journalist who works for the local paper, Ravenbrook's Banner. You seek to discover the secrets of Mr. Peterson, the antagonist from the first Hello Neighbor game. You've always been suspicious of your neighbor being up to no good. In fact, you have always been suspicious of everybody in the town of Ravenbrooks. Everybody seems to only keep to themselves with their own secrets behind closed doors. You explore the town in hopes of finding the secrets of every townspeople in Ravenbrooks, which include the mayor, the taxidermist, the baker, the farmer, and the most mysterious one of all, the guest, who is a person dressed in a crow costume, stalking the streets at night. However, you're most interested in the missing children's case. These kids are Aaron and Mia Peterson, both of whom are Mr. Peterson's children, and Nikki Roth, the protagonist from the first game. You suspect that Theodore Peterson, aka Mr. Peterson, the neighbor, is behind all of these missing children. Furthermore, Mr. Peterson seems to really love the amusement park because he visits it every night. What is he hiding? And where are the missing children? And who is this creepy ass crow person that shows up when you veer off the map? Presentation. Like Hello Neighbor 1, Hello Neighbor 2 has a very cartoon-style graphic with characters with accentuated features like a big head, a big belly, hats covering the officers' eyes, and mustaches that are much too big for their faces. The environment looks very quirky as well, with houses that look like they belong in a Pixar or Disney film, all painted in bright colors. Proportions of buildings and vehicles give that cartoon vibe too. The graphical department is definitely a huge improvement from Hello Neighbor 1 with better lighting, shadows, and textures. You have access to a briefcase on your journey which acts as the game's inventory menu, which doesn't take you out of the game when you decide to look for an item. You also have access to a board which you can fill out with clues you have found throughout town, allowing you to keep track of the people that you have stalked, investigated and soon to be journaled on. There seems to also be a day and night cycle with different events happening within each cycle. In fact, your enemies, the stalkers, will have different behaviors based on the time of day. The gameplay. This game requires you to be stealthy, sneaking around your stalkers, making sure they don't find you, or risk getting thrown out of the area that you're intruding. Along the way, you'll be solving intricate and sometimes illogical puzzles and doing quests. To hide from your stalkers, you can crouch, hide inside closets or under tables. You can also set off certain triggers in the environment to gain the attention of the stalker, allowing you to sneak past them. As an example, at the mayor's house, you could change the record on his record player. This will get his attention, and being a logical man that he is, he'll go back to the record room to check on the record player, giving you the opportunity to sneak to areas that would have been otherwise been patrolled by the mayor. However, sound may not be useful all the time, because if you make a noise while solving a puzzle, like twisting a noisy dial on a safe, your stalker will come over to the puzzle area, forcing you to leave and come back when the stalker leaves. In addition, the stalker is faster than you, so unless you hide immediately, you'll most likely get caught. At least that's what my experience was with Mr. Peterson. It's either I don't know how to sprint in the game, or my character doesn't go to the gym that much. While trying to avoid being caught, you have to solve puzzles in the environment to access areas that the resident of the location doesn't necessarily want anybody looking into. However, instead of being just confined to solving puzzles in a maze-like house, you'll be solving puzzles throughout the whole town. Some locations of interest include museums, stores, a bakery, a farm, and so forth. In addition, you usually get a very loose hint as to what to do and where to go. In saying that, this game doesn't hold your hand, and you're expected to explore, collect things that look useful, and then hopefully use those things to open other things to collect more things, and use those things to unlock more things and go through certain doors and so forth. As an example, you could break a glass cabinet to grab a gear that you need to unlock the door. But first you have to find either a crowbar or a rock to break it open, to use the gear to fit onto a wall to open a door, given that you have found the other two gears needed. Finding out these in-game physics and mechanics is like a puzzle on its own. Like Resident Evil 1, you're just to explore your environment and find out what can be collected and what couldn't. Speaking of puzzles, they can range from getting number codes to a safe, collecting certain doll figures to be put on a pedestal to unlock a chest that looks like a house, or even repositioning a toy warrior's arm in the right position to unlock the other parts of his body. Most of the time, they'll contain key items that you're required to get to the next locked thing. What makes this game interesting is the self-learning AI that keeps getting promoted by the developers. This AI system actively feeds on information that is passively provided by every player of this game, allowing it to learn. This AI system then feeds this information to the stalkers in Hello Neighbor 2, allowing them to more effectively deal with intruders, aka you, in their private domicile. So the usual hiding spot that you so comfortably run to every time you get spotted may not be as safe as it seems anymore. Or the stalkers could just cut off certain routes that players usually take, forcing you to rethink your strategy. When I was playing the beta of this game, I snuck into Mr. Peterson's house through the front door undetected at first. But the next time I was caught, I could see Mr. Peterson sitting at his couch, looking directly at his front door, forcing me to use the back door instead. In addition, each stalker has its own character-driven AI that governs how each of them will behave. So Mr. Peterson won't behave the same way as, say, the mayor. Some stalkers will also have access to ranged weapons like a rifle to keep you off their property. This not only makes each encounter with each stalker unique, but also change the way you deal with them each time. First impressions. Hello Neighbor 2 is pretty interesting. The environments and the characters may look cute like Pixar cartoon characters, but this is very deceiving as all of them have secrets behind closed doors, especially Mr. Peterson. One look from somebody who is not at all familiar with the Hello Neighbor franchise, and they may think that it looks like a family-friendly game. Imagine some parents buying it for their children for Christmas this year. What a nightmare that would be. The story of Hello Neighbor is always very intriguing. There's always a mystery to solve, a story to uncover, things to discover, and characters to learn about. The story of Mr. Peterson is one of tragedy when you come to learn about him, and in some ways, you do come to sympathize with him. Of course, until you find out what he has done. I'm genuinely intrigued about the other characters in Hello Neighbor 2. What is their deal in this whole conspiracy of missing children? Furthermore, who is this crow costume figure that keeps grabbing you when you try to stray off the path? Some people say that it is Mr. Peterson's alter ego to do nefarious things at night, while promotional posters seem to suggest the crow costume figure being supernatural or an entirely different character from Mr. Peterson. Again, mysteries! I'm also looking forward to exploring the world of Hello Neighbor 2, instead of just being confined to Mr. Peterson's house like the first game. The world looks fun to explore, and I wonder what secrets will I be uncovering as I explore the different areas of Ravenbrooks. Gameplay-wise, I quite like that there is not a lot of hand-holding in this game. There's a charm in trying to figure things out on your own, where to go, what to do, what items are important, and how to solve things, etc, etc. Hello Neighbor 2 forces you to learn as you go and try to immerse you as much as possible into the world, the characters, and the story that you're trying to tell as a journalist, forcing you to think a bit like a detective. I mean, you do have a hideout that you can go to where you pin your latest clues up. If anything, you're an amateur detective, trying to piece together clues that will lead you to solving the mysteries of these missing children. The puzzles are actually interesting with its multi-layered approach of finding things to even start the puzzle, then finding clues to solve the puzzle itself. It does feel a bit like a hidden object game, mashed with a puzzle game. The AI system is pretty cool too, and I hope that this gets implemented well. From the beta, the AI is still decent at the moment, like my experience with Mr. Peterson above, where he sat at the couch facing his front door, waiting for me to intrude into his house. However, once more and more players jump into this game though, he might just alternate between the front and back doors of his house, or simply board up the back door. Hopefully the AI system is all that the developers are making it out to be, because that would be absolutely amazing. There's definitely a lot of tension, sneaking into Mr. Peterson's house, avoiding him, and wanting to be as far as possible from him while you're in it. When the chase music suddenly plays, or if you get spotted and Mr. Peterson starts chasing you, oh boy does it get your heart pumping. Just looking for the exit to safety so you don't get caught. One thing though, I wonder what happens if you get caught over and over again, because at the moment nothing seems to happen. Surely at some point Mr. Peterson will just break your legs and throw you into his basement too. I guess we'll find out upon the full release. All in all, I'm looking forward to Hello Neighbor 2. I've always been intrigued by the world of Hello Neighbor, so being able to explore the town and actually have more stalker neighbors is definitely welcome. This game releases on the 6th of December for Steam, PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox One and Xbox Series X and S, and Nintendo Switch. So what do you think about Hello Neighbor 2? Let me know in the comments below. I'll see you guys in the next video.